Don Hotchkiss, candidate for County Recorder. I would just echo what Tom just said. Tom indicated he's pulled up some 214s that were filed down there and found some social security numbers on there, and this type of information can't be released to the public. You're caught between two places. One, you want to record the information, and then number two, you want to be able to give it back to the public. But there's some information that can't be given out, and as Tom said, you can't be releasing the addresses of certain public officials. You can't be releasing social security numbers. So we've got a balancing act. We've got to take a look at everything we do in there to see if we've got any areas where we can improve, and so we don't release information that shouldn't be released. We live in a time where computer fraud is everywhere, and people access these records and then use this information for their own purposes. We've got an elderly population certainly here that's got a lot of property that's recorded in that office. We've got to make sure that they're not subject to some scam that comes along. And these scam artists are working on their angles all the time. So we've got to try to stay one step ahead of them. And I think one of the things we've got to do is work closely with law enforcement to take a look at what we've got and how we give it out to the public to see if there's any way that somebody could use this information in an illegal way. Thank you.
Tom Willis again. Listen, there was a fraud unit set up in that office for a short time, and it was very effective, but then for some reason it was done away with. So I want to redo that, get another fraud unit set up there, because that's the first line of defense. Tom Willis.
This is Debbie Conway again, and I think my opponents don't understand the complexity of the office. There is a fraud unit, in fact, intact, and I just left. There's an event going on today at Cashman Field where the Recorder's Office is a part of a Fight Fraud in Nevada unit. It's comprised of the DA's office, the Secretary of State's office, Metro, the FBI, and a number of other police units around the county. And because of the economy and the type of climate that we live in, there are a number of individuals who come into the office to try to record documents that cloud the titles, or, as they mentioned, try to seek information and use that in a fraudulent manner. And we work very closely with the police, with the FBI, and with the other agencies to try and deter that from happening. Now, the office is governed by state law, and you just can't go in and arbitrarily decide to do something. There are a number of laws that apply to what we do in the Clark County Recorder's Office. And one of the laws was passed not too long ago that said that we have to go back and redact from all of your documents. Anybody that records a document that has a social security number on it, has personal information like your bank accounts and that type of information. Our office has software that we purchased using the taxpayers' dollars because they were designated for that specific purpose, to go back and redact those documents and take all of that information off. Prior to the law being passed by the state legislature, there was nothing we could do. We had to record the document as is based on the law. But the legislature did go back and pass a law and said that we have to redact all of the personal information from documents. And so we have until 2011 to go all the way back and redact all of that information from the document. So we do not release images until they're fully QA, meaning quality assurance, that we've looked at the instruments, that we've made certain that certain information has been redacted from those, and that the information has been indexed properly. And so again, understanding the complexity of the office, the laws under which it's governed, is absolutely necessary if you're going to sit in the seat of a recorder and ensure that the office complies to state law.
Dave Austin, why should the public re-elect you?
I think basically because the past 3 years that we have implemented over 70 enhancements that have made accessing documents and recording documents a lot more efficient. When I came into the office, there was a backlog in terms of returning documents to the public. There was a backlog of up to 9 months, meaning if you recorded a document, it would take about 9 months to return that document back to the person who recorded it. Now we can give you your document back on the same day. We can scan the document and process it, index it, record it, and make the images available. Also, one of the enhancements that the improvements in the office that we did under the while that I've been there the last 3 years is the elderly used to come in and stand in line. Senior citizens could stand in line for up to 3 hours trying to go to the assessor's side and file a homestead and then come to our side to record it. And so what we did is we implemented another piece of technology called a Q-matic, where the person can actually come in, get in line once on the assessor side, and then be automatically transferred into our office and be in and out in less than 20 minutes. And so my goal is to make recording more accessible to the public by implementing kiosks. A number of you seen the technology with the DMV, with the kiosks out in the community where you don't have to come into the office. And so that's my goal.
Tom Willis. I'll tell you why I want to be elected down there, because to give better customer service, forget the kiosk thing. I think that's a bad idea. We can set up other entities to do that at no cost to the county. Plus you got a kiosk out there that God knows who could have access to. And the main thing is customer service and better management in that place. You need to do better management to get better customer service and better expenditure of the funds. Money has just been wasted. This new system doesn't work properly. There's tons of problems with it, and it's $3 million, $450,000 a year maintenance for the county. It's absurd. Anyways, that's what I've got in mind, and I can do the job a lot better than what's going on in there right now. Tom Willis.
Don Hotchkiss, candidate for county recorder, and notwithstanding the great kiosk controversy of the office, I think what I would bring to the office is just a fresh look. 33 years as a civil engineer, looking at systems, looking at how efficient they are, what they cost. Something else we could spend a little bit less money on to get more bang for your buck. That's what I'll be looking at when I'm elected to this position.